I am so excited because we're going to be spending some time together. Not just spending some time together, we're going to be winning together. I'm going to take you with me on my journey building Black Rise, but what I've done so far to be where I am, and all the strategies that have worked for me, but also things that didn't work for me. Whether you are an entrepreneur, whether you are a professional, I'm sure you're going to find your own takeaways. And this is my journey, and this is me, Flavilla Fongang, the founder of Black Rise. Welcome. This is the first episode, and the first episode is very much about who I am and why am I the best person to do it. And it's going to be full of roller coasters and things that I've learned, but also will tell you why am I the best person to start this business, Black Rise. Also, if you're asking yourself, you're the best person to start this business, this episode is for you. Before launching Black Rise, which is my first technology company, I've done a number of businesses that failed. And people don't talk a lot about failure, but failures are so important because that's what really help you take the lessons that you need to learn to be able to progress. And I think we've created this journey of, wow, everything seems to be working for you. And I want also to share with you the things that didn't work before I started. And I was working for a company in the oil and gas industry for a very long time. So when I decided to become an entrepreneur, I didn't quit right away. I saw this as a transition. So I was working with this company and then I started learning about where I wanted to be next. Before I knew it, when I was ready to transition, I let go of one. When I let go of this, I decided to become a fashion consultant, which was a lot of fun. But one of the first challenges that I realized was the fact that when you're a consultant or you work for yourself, if you get sick, nothing happens, no money is going to be made. So what I realized is that I was my strength, but I was also my weakness. And this is where understanding technology will help you as well understand the next opportunities for you. We are in the era of AI and you can't avoid it, right? And that's super important. So first thing that I did was I have a lot of things in my head that people are coming to me and want to learn how to do what I do. How about I actually transform my knowledge into a digital asset? And this is when I launched my first academy, my online fashion academy, where I was teaching people how to become fashion consultants. So I kind of left very quickly the world of being a fashion consultant and working with brands, but also individuals, to now launching my first fashion academy. So when I launched my first fashion academy, everything was working really well. I enjoyed it. I was teaching women around the world about my fashion skills and they were enjoying it. But then again, something I got a block. And I think it's very important when you are learning to realize where am I now saturated and I feel like I need to go a bit further. If you don't feel challenged with whatever you are doing right now, and you feel like, oh my gosh, I learned it all, I can do it very easily, and I'm not learning anything new, then it's time for you to make the next move. And this is what was for me. Lucky for me, I've taken the habit of the instinct of knowing where an opportunity is behind it. And this is why every of my transition have been very organic and I continue to be very organic. It's not just out of the blue, I want to do something. There's always a backstory in terms of how I got to where I am right now. So to be where I am right now, so then this is where my journey into the agency world started. I realized that having a business is very different from having a brand. You can have a great coffee shop, but you're not Starbucks. Starbucks is a brand. A coffee shop that you still don't remember the name is a commodity. It's a business. And to be able to charge a premium price, you need to be able to build a brand, and that's very important. We're going to talk about this, how to build a brand afterwards in the next episode. So then what I did is that I moved away from the fashion consultancy, and I was still doing a fashion consultancy, but moving to the digital space where I was teaching women how to just become a fashion consultant. And then I moved into the world of agency, which was brilliant. So what I did, I took on everything that I've learned working with a number of industries. So I come from the oil and gas background, I come from the fashion industry background. I used to work as well in the FMCG industry whatsoever, which was a bit of a mess because I want to do everything. And this is why it's important to pick a niche. Often when we start a business, we're too afraid to pick a niche because we think, like, oh my gosh, if I pick a niche, then I'm going to miss out on some businesses. But actually, the power of picking a niche makes you an expert. What's important when you pick a niche is to pick a niche that is big enough. If you pick a niche such as women who wear hat who are 6'5", then you're going to have a very micro niche, and we're not going to be able to serve a lot of people. And how many women who are 6'5" need a hat, right? But if you pick, for example, petite woman, then you have a big niche. Any petite woman, anybody below 5'3" is the audience. And how many women are under 5'3"? There's a lot of us, all right, including me. So from that point, I decided that I need to pick a niche, and I picked technology. Picking technology made me realize, again, something is very important to be aware and not just being so much in your business that you actually don't pay attention to what's going on in your environment. And this is what I did. I looked at my environment, now being an agency specializing in working with technology companies. I realized, wow, I am still the only few of the women who choose technology. And I'm sure they are, but where are they? Where can I connect? But also looking at doing some research and looking at the numbers, realizing that there was not a lot of women of color in technology. So as an agency, we decided we're going to go further part of our CSR, corporate social responsibility. And every good company should have a corporate social responsibility. And this was ours, where we were going to create a small entity giving women advice on personal brand, on branding, whatsoever. So the technology and the knowledge is there, but what is helping them, supporting them with the branding, the building of a brand, which was our expertise. And one thing led to another very quickly. We exploded, went very, very far with our brands, and we decided to separate the two entities. So now I had my agency and a social impact business. So GTA Black Women in Tech, as it's known right now, was not born as GTA Black Women in Tech. It was born as Tech London Advocate, TLA, before we realized, well, people needed us more than just in London, but across the UK. We then decided to launch and become global. And this is where we opened a chapter in Ireland, in France, and in Germany. Again, something was very important that every decision that I've made was not just me on my own. I had people around me that I was listening to say, oh, Flavilla, I think that we should do this. And I think it's very important when you build a business to give power to your team member to have a voice. If you give them a voice, they'll be able to see the opportunities that you yourself might not be able to see. And that really has served me in so many occasions where I couldn't see, but say, actually, Flavilla, there's an opportunity in that space, and and I'm an open book. I'm like, okay, well, fine, let's do it. And this is how it all started. And then naturally, we grew a community of over 24,000 people around the world. And this gave me, again, a new realization that there's a lot of people in the Black community who wants to connect. And so before launching Blackrise, I did my research. I was looking for a platform that allows me to discover everything within the Black ecosystem. What I mean the Black ecosystem is that where are all the communities that maybe focus on Black women in sales or men in finance, and so on. Where is our platform? What I would like to know what every single Black people are doing. And this was so important for me that I realized nobody is doing it. I guess I'm going to have to do it. And again, it's really hard. The challenge that I've given myself is really hard because I'm not a tech entrepreneur. So this is the first part of who I am and where I am right now. And what I want to talk in the next session is why am I the best person to launch Blackrise?